Hi, and welcome back to Smart Property Systems Training. In this video, we'll cover how to submit a background and credit check on your prospective tenants. The first step you want to do is make sure that you're logged into your Smart Property Systems Landlord dashboard. From here, you'll go to the Tenants tab and select Screen Tenants. The first time you come into this interface, you will see a screen that's an informational screen where you can learn a little bit more of what's included in the Smart Property Systems Tenant Screening Report. The cost, $25, and a little bit more information. When you're ready, click the Get Started button. Alright, on this screen you're going to fill in the tenant's information, including their name and their email address. Now the email address is very important because the tenant is going to have to complete a portion of this as well. So you do have to enter the tenant email address twice to make sure that you have it right. And again, make sure the tenant confirms with you that this is indeed their email address. Then you specify the amount of rent you'll be asking for, any kind of deposit they'll be putting down, and how long is the lease. Alright, now if the tenant is going to be paying for the screening, there will be a box here that says tenant is paying. I'm doing this from a demo account to show you what happens when you are a demo. In order to submit a tenant screening report when you're on the 14-day free trial, the tenant has to pay for the screening report. The reason for this is that we don't require you to enter a credit card before your 14 days is up. So you have to enter in that the tenant pays for this if you're going to submit the screening report while you're still on the trial. So that's to explain this note here that the tenant will have to pay for screening if you're on the 14-day trial. If you upgrade to a full paid membership, then you can specify that you will pay for it and not for the tenant. So for the cases of this, we'll just assume that the tenant is going to pay the $25 fee for the tenant screening. Now another point to note here is that the tenant, when they do their portion of this, they will be asked for a credit card to pay for the screening. You don't have to do anything. You don't collect the money from the tenant. The tenant will pay the amount when they confirm that yes, they have authorized you to run a background check on them. Okay, that's important to note. I'm going to just say it one more time. When the tenant is paying, you do not collect the money from the tenant. The tenant signs into the screening company's website where they will have to enter the information to confirm that they have authorized you to run a report. They will be asked for a credit card and will pay the $25 at that point. Alright, you want to select the property that you'll be running this against. So again, you will have had to have defined your properties before you can run a screening report. This information is just to place what type of security you're putting on this. Do you want it really tight, meaning I'm going to have a lot of people apply for this apartment, so I want to make sure I only get the best candidates, or I don't expect to get a lot of people, my rent's a little bit higher, so be a little bit more lenient in the reporting. So that's what this survey is for. You can go through and specify what you'd like and then click Order. Once you've clicked Order, the tenant will get an email on how to proceed. Now the next time that you come into tenant screening, you go to Tenants and Screen Tenants, you'll see that you're going to get a little bit of a different screen. You can either order a new report or view your existing reports. And from here you see that this is pending. When you get a notification that the tenant has accepted and approved your request, you can come in and click Get Report to view the finished screening report for this tenant. So again, points to remember. If you're on the 14-day trial, the only option for screening is tenant pays. If you're not on the trial, if you're on a paid membership, there will be a screen where you can actually specify whether you want the tenant to pay or not. In either case, the tenant will be sent an email with how to proceed to confirm that they have indeed authorized this screening. This is something that the tenant will have to complete. So the tenant will get an email that tells them how to proceed. When they have completed their portion, including paying if that was the option selected, then you will get a notification that the tenant has authorized the report, and you can come back to this screen and click Get Report to view your tenant screening report. So that's how you run a screening or tenant background check within Smart Property Systems.